Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Monday, May 12th. Welcome. It's been, I think, a full week since I recorded because I'm doing really good at this daily stuff. But in the last little piece that I recorded, I actually said that I was going to put everything together and put a video out the next day, but I'm having technical issues. So it's still not out. But I figured if I didn't just hurry up because I'm concerned about mixing together all of the getting the clips messed up. Anyway, if I didn't record, it wasn't going to happen for a long time because that's just how it goes. So here I am. We'll get caught up. Next week, Dax and I are going to a cabin west of here in near the Lost Maples area, and we've been going every year for several years, and there's no internet, there's no TV, there's nothing. Our cell phones don't work. We can get on the internet through the cabin. I think there's 7 cabins there, and they have Wi-Fi, but it's not great, and they don't want you on there a long time, so we just go and relax. So maybe I could record every day while I'm there and show you what I've done, but we'll see. I make no promises. Okay, worked on friendship quilts. We are headlong into Stitch Mania. So, and I'm doing mine so that I'm working on whatever I started on that day in prior years. This is a Stitch Mania piece. I started it in 2016. This one and the Solitude by Mystic Stitch are my 2 oldest whips, and I started both of them for Stitch Mania in 2016. And you shouldn't start big pieces in Stitch Mania. Now, if you're going to do it this way, then you stitch on them forever. Anyway, it is still in the hoop. I'm sorry. Here, let me take that out real quick so you can see the whole thing. So, here we are. I am obviously working on the second half over here. I still have back stitching and such in this area here to, from like here over probably, but it's coming along. This one makes me so happy every time I look at it, I swear. It just, especially once you get the back stitching in, it just is amazing. I don't know how they can write patterns to do stuff like that with floss. Blows my mind. I'm not doing these in any kind of order either. So I started, this was a new start in Mania. And it has, it's just this little card and the patterns on the back. And it uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors of fancy floss. I just picked colors. And got about, just moving my needle minder. I'm doing it obviously on, this one is on the gingham looking. This one is a 32 count gray Murano artiste. You can see I bought on clearance for $1.50. But there we are, working on the border. And it's in a project bag that I made. My zipper's too small, so small things have to go in here. But it's fine too. Trying to think if there's anything fun and exciting going on in our lives. I told you last time that Addison is pregnant again. She did a blood test thing, and you send it off to the lab to find out the sex of the baby. And she found out today when she's been checking because the lab hasn't gotten it. It went priority mail, and it's been saying it was in transit. It was in transit, and today it's back in Kyle, which is where it was mailed from, and it's been a week. Actually, it's been a little over a week at this point. It's been about 10 days, so she is a little bit more than frustrated, to say the least. But it is how these things go, unfortunately. It happens sometimes. Saturday, Dax and I went to a crawfish boil, and it was really good. It was for charity, and who am I not to support a charity that sells boiled crawfish? So we went and ate too much, and I liked it. I worked on this one, After the Rain from the Art of Cross Stitch. This is one because I'm doing one of the Fall at Sinking Creek. I think I already had started, and so McKenna came across this one, which is part of that collection. It's all, these are from artwork, from actual paintings. Way back when you could order the art prints that went with these. I doubt that's still the case. Anyway, so McKenna sent this to me when she saw it, and I worked on that. Actually, I worked on this one today. My needle minder with this one is a beaver. Who knows why, but there you go. Maybe because I had trees, and beavers like trees. Anyway, I am in the sky. I'm way up here in the sky, working on this part over here. So, we're still at nothing exciting, but that's okay. I can live with it. This was also a new start from Val's stuff. I have done the spring and summer cats, so I started the fall. The spring and summer were both on the same fabric. I already cut out the spring and put it together, but here's the summer one. But I didn't have enough room for the other two. Originally, I was going to put them all together, and I messed one up really bad, so I decided not to do that because I would have to make the same mistake in the others, and that's too much for me to remember. Anyway, here we are. And I'm doing these with all the fancy floss. I think it's all Weeks Dye Works. It's not often that I do things with all the fancy floss, so be amazed. And because I'm doing that, I'm trying to keep them all separate, which one's which. And I worked on from my May Sweet Stitching Club. This is May's pattern. And you're not ready for this. I finished it. I've actually had it finished for like a week. As a matter of fact, I think I finished it on May 5th. Now, if I can FFO it before the end of the month, it will be a miracle. It will be a cross-stitch miracle. And then I worked on, from Madame Chantilly, Santa's Raccoon. It is on my list of 20. And I finished it. Hooray! I'm concerned that this will be my only finish off of my list of 20 this year, which is less than pathetic, but I'm getting down to where everything on that list is kind of big. And quite frankly, there's no reason this should have still been on that list, but it was, which is why I'm trying to touch all my projects this year so that they don't go for years without ever being touched. You can see here that the border was stitched in white, but I knew it wouldn't show up on my almost white fabric. It's not actually white, but it's like a cream color. So I did it in red. and I'm perfectly happy with it. On his little eyes, I felt like they blended in quite a bit with the surrounding colors, so I did backstitch around those because there isn't really any backstitch. There's the long stitches for his whiskers, and that's it. But I went ahead and backstitched around his eyes to make them show up a little better. And I do believe that that is all I have worked on. That one resides in a bag that I made with, this is the easiest because it was a table runner. I accidentally nicked it right there with the scissors when I was doing something else. But that zipper, right, it's a little lace zipper, so it's meant to be seen, so that makes it even easier. You just stick it on the outside and zip it up. I'm putting everything back in that one because I will do the little fox that's next to it also, but it will go farther back in my to be stitched bucket. I've still been shopping like a crazy person. From the thread gatherer, I did buy a couple of silk threads that go in my Southwest, like the Santa Claus cowboy one stocking that I started. So I bought those. It hurts a little bit to pay that much for floss, but I had to remind myself that it's 12 strand. So it's really okay. It's still expensive, but it's really okay. And it's silk. It feels lovely, but it still hurts. There's no going around it. And I bought a new burr sampler pattern for the new baby. We don't know boy or girl yet, obviously. But this one kind of coordinates with Ryan's. I could have used his same stocking, his same burr sampler again. But this one's by the same designer and everything. So it will coordinate. And if we find out it's a girl, I will use pink instead of the brown in the boot and the numbers and everything. So I'll figure something else out. But Addison liked it, so I guess that's really all that matters, right? Tomorrow, this is my mania piece that I will be working on. And I already have it ready to go. Got it in my hoop. You can't even see what I did last year because it's all in white right here. But it does get, it will get back stitched around it. So anyway, there we are. A bunch of stuff that you can barely see. I think that's all that's going on right now. I'm trying to remember. Wyatt came over yesterday for Mother's Day. Addison and Jacob were out of town. I'm sure Ryan misses me. They came over the weekend before, and he has a little blow-up pool over here. My house is being taken over by kids' toys because they don't have room for them in their apartment. So his little blow-up pool and his little lawnmower push toy are over here now. But with a new baby on the way, they'll have to take some of the stuff back, like the car seat that's in the closet. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm trying to think. I think that's all. As soon as I turn this off, I'll think of 12 things I should have said. But that's all I got for now. So I'll see you again in just a second. And hopefully, for me, it will actually be tomorrow. But we'll see. Okay, right back. And we're back. It is Thursday, May 15th. I haven't recovered from busy season, I guess, because I have the hardest time remembering what day of the week it is. So, last time I told you that the next day I was going to be working on this one, which I did, and I'm actually, sorry, there's cat hair on it like everything else in my house. I'm actually pretty pleased with how much I got done. Obviously the C and the P, but I also did some more up here on the border. So that's pretty cool. I'll take it. Poor Mickey, he doesn't need to be upside down. So there we are. We still don't know if the grandbaby's going to be a boy or a girl. Addison lives in Kyle. She did a blood test that gets mailed off, and they let you know within 24 hours of receiving it. It goes priority mail. They mailed it from, Jacob dropped it off at the post office in Buda, which is 5-10 miles from Kyle. It got checked in Buda. It went back to Kyle. Then it went to Austin. Then it went back to Kyle. And now it's been on a truck on its way to who knows where for 2 days, which the main sorting facility is in Austin. So it should have been checked in there. So she's looking into other ways to finding out, because this is not working. And she called the post office to ask them what was going on, and she called me a few minutes ago, because basically the answer is they don't really know. So she's like, well, I'm sorry you didn't have to waste your time to tell me what I can already see, that who knows what's going on with it. I think they know that it's driving us crazy. Last time, I forgot to show you this big start. I'll look on my calendar and see when I started this one. On the 7th. I started this one on the 7th. So it should have been in my last video, and I don't know why it wasn't. But somebody on eBay she had a few different ones of these, and she kept sending me offers, and how can you refuse? So I bought a number of them, but somewhere I have on here, here's the top. Here's where I am. I know, that is very impressive. We're down here. It's this border line and then around this one. I know. Everybody wishes they could be like me. I get it. And speaking of that, here's another one. This one's called Spring Homes. I think that one's just called Happy Valentine's Day. This one, oh, isn't that crazy? I thought they were all the same people. This is a Sue Hillis design. This one is Marcy McDonald, Whispered by the Wind. I'm sorry, I bought them all at the same time, but I have this one, and I have a summer one, and I might have a winter one also. I'm looking that way because my bucket of things to be started is sitting right there, and the summer one is at the front of the bucket so I can see it. But I think I have winter also. Anyway, it's very impressive. I got the G. And it calls for a fancy floss for that. I'm doing it, like, I almost never tell you what I'm stitching on, because I buy a lot of, just lots of fabric on eBay, because that's my thing, that's my jam, is digging through stuff and seeing what I've got. This is 14 count Ada, and it's blue. It's an artiste from Hobby Lobby. It's kind of like a cloud looking. Yeah. It's not printed like that on the back. It's white on the back, so showing you that doesn't help. Anyway, it's kind of like a cloud print. But in an auction where I've got a whole bunch of, it was a estate auction, I got a whole bunch of stuff from a lady that has a ton of floss. And this is Designs for the Needle, and it's just a pink variegated floss. I grabbed the little bag of there that was in what I have. There's like, I don't know, 10 more skeins of that. But I thought it would be fine. The variegation seems to be nice. It's not overwhelming, but anyway, so there you are. More than you ever wanted to know about it. I also worked on this one's. It's Cats, Baskets, and Quilts, I think. This is the Amish one. There are 3 of them in the series. I'm doing all 3 of them. You see this one quite a bit and this one quite a bit. I don't know why this one hardly ever shows up on any of my wheel spins or any of that. But I want them all done. So there we are on this one. This time I filled in, I brought down the corner of the quilt here and started in the border at the bottom. And I got in a lot more of the black on the cat. Like most of this black here on the cat. It's actually starting to look like a cat, sort of. Oh, I'm sorry. It came out of the, you can see my magazine's falling apart. This Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. This one is March and April of 1986. Yes, I've had it that long. Oh, this is when I had a different name and lived in the Dallas area. And then I believe this was today. Was this today? Oh, no. This was yesterday. This is a kit that I started yesterday. It's a Design Works kit. I don't know what it's called. I'm calling it Land of the Free because I can. And it came with the fabric and all that stuff. So here's where we are. This is not quite all the way across. It still has a little bit left. You know, I started at the bottom here and then I'm working my way up over here. I stitch right to left. So anyway, that's how far I made it. Like I said, my hoop originally, you can kind of see the line was here and I was getting really close, so I just moved it so I could get to the edge on one end. And since I prefer to stitch from this side, it made sense to move it that way. Hopefully, by the time I get back to it, I will remember what it is I've done. I'm trying to reach the other bag because this is what I worked on today. I worked on Solitude by Mystic Stitch. This is to tell you don't start big things in Stitch Mania if you're going to each year continue working on the ones you did, if you want to do Stitch Mania at all, because I started this in 2016 and I'm not even halfway through. Anyway, still filling in. As you can see, the tree is getting we're rounding out the bottom of the tree, so we're getting down here. Well, I stitched from over here, so we're coming in right here on the tree. Hopefully pretty soon I'll get to do like some fence or something that's not all of this, but this is where we are. In my wildest dreams, it'll be finished next year. That's in my wildest dreams because I really don't see that happening, because I've still got 6, 8 pages to go. I don't know, a lot. If I just quit stitching on anything else, I think I could make it happen. That's all I've stitched on. I got, because I can't quit shopping, I bought this on eBay. I thought it was going to be, from looking at the picture, and I'm sure it said in the description and I just didn't read it, I thought it was going to be like Ryan's stocking, where just filling in the top. Quite frankly, this isn't actually the one I thought I bought. Doesn't really matter. But it's not like that. I have to do it all and put everything together, and I don't know if I want to do that. Not for, right now, like with Ryan, that's a beginner stocking. I would really rather him have something more suited to him, but he needs to get old enough to have interests. And for the new grandbaby, I really feel the same way. So I don't know if I'm going to do this one or not. I may keep looking. Although you know how I am, I don't have much time. I think that's everything. Don't forget to enter the drawing, because I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I draw. I guess it'll depend on how many entries I get. Tomorrow we're heading to Abigail's home visiting. And tomorrow we are going to Fredericksburg. That's what Dax wanted to go to Natural Bridge Caverns and do all of that stuff, go out to eat. She wants to go to Fredericksburg because the caverns are hot and muggy this time of year. You know, the humidity's like 500% down in the caves. So she doesn't want to do that. And she wants to go walk around in Fredericksburg and all that stuff, which is fine. I love Fredericksburg. But it has been 100+ degrees around here, so it's not really like that's going to be any better. But we're going to go do that tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be back and I can check in for what I do in the morning. And I don't know, Saturday, maybe we have a car show. We're going to a friend's house Saturday night for a party. Sunday, the kids will be over with the grandbaby. And Monday, Dax and I leave to go off to a cabin for a week. Maybe there, when there's nothing else to do but sit around and cross stitch, I can actually every day record. But don't hold me to it. All right, that's it for now. Hey y'all, we're back. It is Wednesday, May 21st. Even being here at the cabin, I'm sitting out on the deck. I still can't manage to record every day. We got here Monday, and I didn't record on Monday because what I worked on Monday morning, I left at home. And it was a joy and a pleasure getting here. It took us away we've never been before. We got stuck behind, well, we got stuck in some road construction and had to wait like, I don't know, 5 minutes for our turn to go our side because they had the road closed down to one lane. And then later we got stuck behind the guy. One was driving the truck painting stripes, and the other guy was putting the little reflectors down on the road. They don't move at a very good pace doing that, and it was a windy road, so it took forever to get to a point where the guy at the front was like, okay, go around. But it was fun. I don't know if you can hear the hummingbirds having a standoff out here. Anyway, it is Wednesday morning. I am out on the deck in front of the cabin. This seems to be the best arrangement for light out here. It's cloudy today, so it's not super sunny. It's actually a little bit cool. Got my coffee, and I just thought I'd show you. Yesterday, I worked on Spooky Welcome. This is one that Sherry Burkett had sent me. She passed the stash, and here is where we are. So yesterday I finished up, I had about this much of the roof line in right here, so I got all of that across. I filled in here, around here in the middle, and did some of these lines out here on the edge of the house. I was pretty pleased with that amount of work yesterday, especially since I didn't just sit and stitch yesterday. We went into town to get the things I forgot. Town is 15 miles away, I think. Lakey, Texas. There isn't a bunch there, but we went into town. Mostly what I forgot was M&Ms. So that's what we went and got, M&Ms. And then we came back out. We went and floated in the river a little bit. There's not a ton of water in it. They need rain just like we do. I drink coffee with my hair in it. And so we went, one of the parts where it's a little bit deeper, we went and floated in the river a little bit, walking down the stone steps. It's just, I don't mean, they're big fancy stone steps. I mean, there's rocks that you could step on to get down, because it's quite a ways down from here. Right on my flip-flops, and I had one leg, my left leg firmly planted. My right foot slipped on leaves on top of those stones, and I fell and scraped up my knee. So that's that's pretty nice. Dax is like, I don't know if you want that getting in this water. But so far so good. We're all good. I'll try to be better today. Today I'm working on, you can see that ghost. I don't know if that's the name of it. That's what I call it. It says Boo. I'm guessing Boo is sort of leaves falling off the tree. Here is my starting point. I already have the bottom done. I've already put in a couple of rows across him this morning. So we'll just keep going. If possible, it would make me very happy to get this all the way filled in. It, though, gets a little monotonous, just orange back and forth. So we'll see. We'll see if I do that, or if I get tired and move on to something else. I think that's all for now. We still have not found out the sex of the grandbaby. The company that she did it with, the package just keeps going from the post office to the sorting center, back to the post office, back to the sorting center. I guess the post office likes the label fine and the sorting center doesn't like it, so they keep sending it back to the post office. I don't know. I don't know why they haven't returned it to her to fix the label, whatever the problem is, but she finally went to the doctor and got her blood drawn, and hopefully by this weekend we'll know. But anyway, so really I think that's everything, and hopefully I'll either see you with what I finished on this today, closer to the end of the day. I don't know, because the lighting inside is horrible. So we'll see. Or worst case, tomorrow. Don't hold your breath. You know better. Okay, back in a second. Okay, I have to hurry before Dax starts again. This is what I got done today. I finished the pumpkin and I got his legs all done. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I will be back tomorrow to let you know what happens then. Thanks, y'all. Okay, we're back. It is Thursday. I don't remember the date. The 22nd, maybe? I feel like I'm turned a different way because the sun's setting, so it's over there. It's probably about 5:30 in the afternoon. I don't know. I feel like it looks like I'm in front of a prop, some fake backdrop, but it's not. It's for real. This is the cabin we're staying in. obviously other cabins. That one's the office. Okay, today I worked on Christmas patches, Patchwork Santa, and y'all, I'm impressed with myself, if I do say so myself. I got quite a bit done. Move my needle minder up. And if you can hear the birds, there are two babies. So mom and dad are working very hard. They are crazy noisy at feeding time. They're very demanding. Anyway, here's where we are. I filled in, I don't think this one was filled in. There's still one more color that goes in the middle that I haven't done yet. I don't know why. And then, but I finished the teddy bear. He was only about halfway done. So I filled him in, got him stitched and back stitched so it didn't just look like a big blob that who knew what it was. Got the pockets put in, brought this stuff up above this is the page break right here. So brought this stuff up and started on this Christmas tree in the pocket over here. So I'm very pleased with how much I was able to get done today. I really should just be able to stay home and stitch. Or just stay at a cabin all the time and stitch. That would be fine too. We're getting ready to, we're probably not going to leave for another hour or so, to go to, I was going to call it a bar, but it's not really, in a small town south of here, Utopia, at the propane gas place that refills propane tanks and all that. A part of their little warehouse, he's got cleared out and he has a little stage set up in the corner, and they do a singer's circle, I guess you would call it. And so we're going to go to that. I think they have a beer license. They sell beer and have the singers out and everything. So we're going to go do that in a little bit, but it doesn't start until 7, and so we probably, we don't need to be there when it starts, so we're going to head that way in a little bit, most likely. Anyway, that is all for now. Tomorrow morning we will pack up and head home. It goes so fast. But we will probably stop and Dax will indulge me as he does, and we hit a bunch of thrift stores. We'll take the long way home and go like down through Bandera and all of that, and hit thrift stores on the way home, and then get home and unpack and all of that fun stuff. But I look forward to it. I've enjoyed the relaxation. It's been really nice. So I will try to update again tomorrow, but it'll probably be tomorrow evening once we are at home. So see you in a second. Okay, y'all, it is Friday, May 23rd, and obviously back home. So I'll show you what I worked on before I left that I forgot. Well, I didn't take time to film, so I worked on the Ukrainian ornament. Of course, this is on my list of 20 and all that jazz. But here we are. So this page here is finished. So I guess I'll probably just keep working because this stuff is on that page. On the next page down, so I'll probably just go ahead and keep working on it. I don't know. But so that makes me halfway done after, I don't know, 5 years. We are moving right along. Didn't have any big things happen. It was a smooth ride home. So that's all good. Last night we went to the Songwriters Circle at the Blue Flame in Utopia. I think I said that we were thinking about going. Well, we did, and it was fun. Okay, out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, May and June of 1992. That's what it looks like. I am working on, here, I'll cover up that part. I'm working on this. I'm not doing it on a placemat. I'm doing it more like it would be if I was putting it in the mug. I'm going to make a drum out of it. So here is where I left off on it. I think I have some more like his back leg to put in right here. But I'm finally getting up here and working on some of his head. He's not going to be headless anymore. I think this right here has some of this that Colvin sent to me. Some of Satan's pubic hair. I think that's what goes in here. We'll see what I use. I think the other day I said there were 3, but there are 4. So out of Cross Country Stitching, December 1992, all very new. You know, I love to do the new things to make sure it's the right one. I'm doing this one. And I think before I worked on it this time, I had this corner, this flower, and some of that greenery. So I put in all of that, and this flower and this flower. Nope, goes this way. Nope. How does it go? I think it goes this way. Yes. On the chart, this flower is not there. It's on the picture. You can clearly see it on the picture. Flowers are in the corners, but it is not on the chart. So since it's like down, up, down, I used the down one from over here to stitch that one in. Crazy. It's just, when you think about a magazine and the pattern maker and the magazine putting it together and editors and all of that, it just goes to show you how much is going on that you can miss something that big. They've got so much going on. And then out of this one, Sample the Seasons, I'm going to see if I can find it. Oh, it's right here in the back. This one is what I started. And I started it on 18 count. My fabric is cut this big. It's not going to be, I mean, look at my margins. It's not going to be nearly that big. But I started one color going down and across in the border, and then it's the same color in that leaf. There are these leaves up here. So there you go. And that stuff I worked on before we left. I've shown you the other stuff. And then today I was supposed to work on Jacob's stocking, but for whatever reason I forgot to pack that. But I had this one with me. This is on my list of 20. Again, yada, 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 and all that other stuff. This is my oldest whip. And it's from 2016. It really needs to get finished. Here's overall where I'm at. But I've been working over here on this quilt that's here. And, you know, who's avoiding this quilt right here? Not me. There's not that big empty spot right there for because I'm avoiding it. It is confetti heavy. Very confetti heavy. So I have to work up my nerve to tackle that one. I think that's everything. I am going to pull out Jacob's stocking right now because it's a whole mania thing, and try to get in some work on it today. It's not going to be anything magnificent, but it will at least be something. Okay. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, something like that. Monday, I don't know. Hopefully. All right. See you in a second. And we're back. It is Monday, May 26th. I am absolutely confused about what day of the week it is. We're still not going to the office tomorrow because we have to babysit Ryan. So it will be Wednesday before we go back into the office, and my brain can't cope. I'm just all kinds of confused the last several days, but oh well. So we finished up Stitch Mania. Let me see. I have to look in. I forgot to take Jacob's stocking with me. So I did work on that on Friday night, and I don't think I've shown it to y'all. It's out of this book. This is let's see if I can see what year it's from, because they do these every year. Oh, don't fall. $2017. And I'm doing this stocking right here for Jacob, but not in those colors. His favorite color is blue. If you've been around, you know what a hard time I had picking out blue. But here is where I got to. And I've just got to say, y'all, I'm sorry, the computer is adjusting on its own. I would turn it off, but I don't know how. Anyway, I got all the way across here. I still had some on the bottom to do here. And as you can see, got started on that big ornament. I will go back later probably and put in the beads, but I really enjoyed working on it. So I am working on, I have to look and see. It's this right here, this one, where it's part of the ornament. So it was a lot of fun watching it come together. It resides in a project bag that I made out of a table runner. It's like the penguins were on there, the pom-pom trim was on it, and the snowflake was like in the middle of the bag of the table runner. So that's just a folded up, a couple of lines, and it's done. And then I worked on, out of cross stitch gold. I don't think I have the year. No, I don't see what issue it's out of on here. Anyway, they had this that was crosses on 2 pages. These birdhouses on a pillow. I'm doing them individually. I've started this one and this one. And this is the one I worked on for my Stitch Mania. I think it was for Stitch Mania, yeah. And I got quite a bit done on it too. I was pretty pleased. I got all of these pinks filled in. I finished filling in this blue heart. There is, like in here, I've done it here and here with white. Those get filled in, and then the bird will be over here. But I'm pretty happy with how much I was able to get done, because I got all the pinks done, and I wasn't close to that at all. So I was pleased with that progress. And then the last day of Stitch Mania was, oh, here, that resides in one of my most common project bags. It's a very fancy brand with a very special name. I started a Prairie Schooler, the Santas, St. Nicholas 2. I started this one with Santa with the Ark. I had bought this and made this one last year for Dax, since he decided to take up a vice and start smoking a pipe in his mid-50s. But, you know, if you're not going to have a vice any other time, why not, you know, in your mid-50s? Anyway, here's what I got done. And I was pretty pleased with that. I had other stuff that I had to go do. So that was my May 25th start, the last day of Mania. That one resides in this bag I made, because how can you not buy working beavers in red buffalo plaid? So I did the inside in red buffalo plaid too. It's great because it still cracks me up every time I see it. And then today I stitched on something. Today my wheel spun a Mania stitch, and so I stitched on a piece that I just stitched on. I stitched on out of this Sample the Seasons, this one that I started in Mania. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. Hopefully you cannot. It doesn't seem to be terribly loud, but we have a storm rolling in, so we're under a tornado warning for a little bit longer, and then a tornado watch until 10 o'clock, I think. Anyway, back to this. This time I came down. This is the bottom all the way, and then I started I put in this border goes all the way. It's here, this one, that's this border right here. So nothing fantastic, but I did get more progress, and I had other things I needed to go do. I do have other things. While we were, well, actually before we left, I made a purchase that I have absolutely zero business buying or thinking about, or fortunately it'll go to the back of my tub of things waiting to be started. But I bought this. But isn't that just beautiful? I can't help myself, y'all. I just cannot help myself. It's from Maxis Patterns. MAXIS Patterns. I got it off of Etsy, I'm pretty sure. It's called the Forest Stream, but it's absolutely beautiful. The pattern. Yikes. I'm going to show you just a little quick glimpse. Here's like, do you see that? What have I done? What have I done? I got plenty of time. Got nothing but time. While we were gone, my next sweet stitching came in. Look how cute it is. Isn't that adorable? And it came with the taffy. You know, it comes with everything you're supposed to use in the display. So, got my taffy. Cute little beach ball. I am set. Now I just need to stitch it. I did put it in my list to start, but that will be sometime in June. We also went shopping we stopped at a couple of thrift stores. Dax offered to stop anywhere I wanted to, but I was just kind of like, We stopped at a couple, and And I only bought a couple things because I'm like, I am drowning in stuff currently, and I need to do better at getting rid of it. But sometimes I can't help myself. And look at this little doll I bought. She is adorable. Those feet, these little shoes are stitched on in the front. This is actually embroidered on there. It's hand embroidered. You can see all of that. If I had to guess, I think she's probably handmade, but she is so flipping adorable. Yeah, I paid $5 for this doll. I checked the price like 3 times because I was like, that can't be right. But it was $5. She is so cute. So she's just sitting here cheering me on, telling me, yeah, do it. Whatever I decide I think I need to do. And also, you're not ready for this. I have FFO'd some things. This is from the March Sweet Stitching. I glued the batting onto the squares and got everything laid out. I had it pinned and ready to lace it, and I even had started the lacing, and I'm like, no, I just don't want to do this. So I took the fabric it came with for the back and all of that and stitched it up and made a pillow. This was supposed to be a little bow. I still have fluff on it. This was supposed to be a bow on the little thing, that it's supposed to hang from. And I was just like, I'm not gonna do it if I have to lace all of those. So I made a pillow. I'm happy with it, and really that's all that matters, right? But that is not all. Now, I've warned you before. I tell y'all when you need to sit down so that you don't hurt yourself passing out at what I have done. But I have FFO'd another piece. I have to stand up to show it to you. Ta-da! This one had a mistake in it in one of these little pieces up here, and I just kept putting off finishing it because I kept putting off fixing my mistake, and I couldn't leave it like it was because I felt like it was obvious, and really it wasn't, but I knew it was there. So it took like 5 minutes, if it even took that long, to fix the mistake, but I let it sit there for probably at least 2 years. Anyway, here we go, the whole thing. I am so happy. I ordered fabric, and when I put it up against it, because I was going to border it all the way around, when I put the fabric up against it, I'm like, ooh, that red is too orange. I don't like that red with it. So I took it and coffee dyed it, and it did not tone it down enough. So I was like, well, crap, now what am I going to do? Well, I have about, I don't know, 5 or 6 yards of this. And it's like a perfect match. So I really didn't want that to show on there. I felt like it was too busy. So I just sewed it together. It's on the back. I used a plate out of the kitchen to mark how I wanted my curves to go here. Which I went and got the plate, and I came back out here and I was tracing. I was like I don't have hoops out here in every possible size. I could have just grabbed one of them, but whatever. Anyway, I did not put anything at the top of it because I don't know yet how I'm going to hang it. I have, a magnetic piece that can clip on right up here and hang it. Or I might buy, something, a wall hanger that's pretty, and if so, I can add whatever I need then. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. If I'm just going to put rings on the back and hang it so that it's just like this. I don't know. But I love it. I am so happy. It only took me, like I said, what, 2, 3 years? I don't know. And if I'd spent 5 minutes before, it would have been fine. I did put interfacing on the back of this piece to give it some stability and to help hold down all of my threads that are run under everything. So, like I said, I am so happy. So there you go. 2 FFOs, and just look at me go. Okay, I think that's all I have for now. We are babysitting Ryan tomorrow. I think I already said that. We have to be at her house at 6:20 tomorrow morning, which means we need to leave here around 5:30. Yikes. I get up early, but I don't get ready to be anywhere until much later than that. So I think that's all I've got for now. I signed up for a swap with, we have to make a table runner or a table round using scraps. It needs to be scrappy. So I am trying to make sure I don't put that off until the very end. So I'm going to work on that for a little bit and then try to go to bed early, since we have to be up and on the go early tomorrow. I guess I need to put together what I'm going to stitch on, because I'm going to have to do it over there probably. Although we should get home pretty early. Yeah, tomorrow is... I say put together like I don't have all these already pulled out for the week. Tomorrow is a new start, and it's this one. I am doing it on a 32 count Murano Carre, Carre, and called Pink Splash. Can you see the little dots on there? And for this, where it says summer, I have, from all the blues I bought, I have decided to use Clemson from Dying for Cross Stitch. If I can get it where you can see it. Maybe it'll work on here. No, you can't really see all those beautiful colors in there. Maybe a little bit. But it's got like dark blue, light blue, and kind of a purple in it. So that's what I'm going to use for that. I think everything else is, I'll just be using DMC. But anyway, I think that is all I've got for now. Since we're going tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, I'll upload this. We'll see. I make no promises. Last time I had such a hard time getting everything to put together and upload and all of that. But anyway, okay, I will be back in a few. And it is Wednesday. What is today? The 28th, May 28th. Like I said before, I am so messed up with all of this change out of my routine. We had big storms last night. Well, they were mostly in the wee hours this morning. Around, I don't know, 5:15, my phone went off with the weather alert for flash flooding in the area. Did the same thing on Monday night. I mean, don't get me wrong, we need the rain. If they could do it without storms, that would be perfectly fine with me. I think somebody said we got around 2.5 inches last night. Maybe a little more. I don't know. But it's all good. So I told you yesterday we were babysitting Ryan, and that went well. He was worn out. We played hard. he was worn out. Dax was worn out. It was all good. So yesterday, this was a new start, and I got a little bit of nothing done. I had shown you the fabric before. It's a 32 count cashel, I think. It's stuff, I'm pretty sure I bought it at Hobby Lobby. Murano, sorry. Pink Splash. And I got that little bit done on the R. I think that's at the bottom of the R. So there you go. And I'm running out of needle minders. So I made this one. It was a pin that I cut the back off of and just glue that in there. Because, I mean, it's summer. Ice cream. Yes. Yes. I also made another one last year when Kirsten and I did the 90-mile garage sale, which is coming up next week. I got to go by the bank and get some smaller bills to make sure, you know, I have 1s and 5s so people don't have to make change and all of that, but I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, last year, I bought a little package that had some jewelry pieces in it. They didn't like this. I made this needle minder here. And it was a clip earring that I cut the clip part. It wasn't a matched pair. I only have that one. It's really pretty. The blue is much sparklier than it's showing up here because that's how it always does. But it's nice. Nice silver on the back. So I finally put a magnet on the back of it. And because my glue keeps drying out, I went to the store and look, I bought these little tiny, a package of like 6 of these little tiny ones so that I can, if that dries out, it doesn't matter. I've got 5 more packages. But I was really trying to grab everything I could to glue once I open that one. I have some other things that I glued, but they're not all the way ready, so I'll show you at a different time. And I am sorry to say, if y'all are wanting to be my neighbor, somebody I'm pretty sure bought the house. They've been, did I tell y'all this yesterday? I don't know. Clearing the fence line, which Dax is thrilled about because they're clearing their side of it. And he said that's less work for him. He didn't have to cut any trees of theirs that are growing through. And this is out in the country fence. This is not like a hurricane fence or wood fence or anything like that. And they cut down a bunch of trees and mulched them up, and they've been relatively quiet across the street, but they've been very noisy over here. So I'm just gonna learn to live with it, I guess. I have no choice. Today I worked on Not All Who Wander. This came in a box of goodies that Sherry Smith had sent to me a while back, and because I have so many things, I don't really get all that much done. But I need a minder. This is where we are. This is where we are. I finally got this finished, and there are mistakes. I don't even know how, but we're going to push through. We're going to ignore the placement on this. We're not going to count off of it. We're going to start with this line right here, and we're going to count off of it. So anyway, because when I say mistake, it had an S. So in this area, there's more than one, and to get it correct, I would have to pull out like everything, and that's just not going to happen. So we'll count on from somewhere on down the line. I think that's everything. Yes, I think so. I've got to work on my table runner exchange. So I think I'm going to try to remember to take the computer with me to the office tomorrow and see if I can get this uploaded and all of that fun stuff with the least amount of issues possible. So thank you all for your comments on the last one. I have absolutely sucked and not gotten back to those, but I've been horrible about a lot of things this year. Um, like for all my projects, when I kit them up, I write down the flosses that they need. And if I finish something, I look and see what goes in and I mark it off, and then I can just pull one of these off of here and go buy the floss if that's what I need to do. So I had not done any of those for this year. So I decided over the weekend, I think it was on Saturday, I sat down in here and started with the last thing that I had logged in there that I needed, and I went through everything else and added them in, and that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Now I need to get up to date how much I've spent. I have not finished near enough to cover any of the stuff that what I've been spending this year, but that's fine too. But I'm trying to get things back in order because I feel like so anyway, as I was saying, thank you for your comments. These are all baby steps to get me to a place where I can be consistent and better, and comments is one of those. I do appreciate them. I read them all. I respond in my mind and sometimes even out loud with everyone that I read, and then it never makes it onto the computer because I get sidetracked too easy. That's the long and the short of it. I get sidetracked and forget what I was doing. I'm 10 things down the road and it's terrible. But anyway, I appreciate them. I honestly really do. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks, y'all.